It's just the THX logo.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, it's all of us.
It's
It
all
is.
good. I know.
Nate, who's like editing the VODs, who's not running the show tonight, he edited this with, he updated the stream info before we went live. And apparently this is Self-Suck Saturday number 87.
Wow, seriously.
That's great.
We've almost done 100 of these.
I know.
If
and
my-
we've raised $87 exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you to whoever you are out there that's so consistently generous with us. It's really...
If my math's correct, we're only 13 episodes from 100.
That's right.
That means $13 from
That's 13 more. And the 87 was me, you guys. I won a scratch off lottery ticket recently, so I thought I'd kick us a few bucks. So you're welcome. How's everybody doing?
Are you asking Chad or are you
us?
asking us?
I'm
Yeah, hard to
asking
know.
you. Huh?
I was waiting for the delay. of chat. Yeah, it's hard to know.
I was asking
It's
you.
funny, guys.
Hard to know how we're doing. Hard to know who Timmy's asking. Hard to know what.
I don't know. I never know how
Off
I'm
to
doing.
just a banger of a start.
Oh, we lost it.
I'm so-
we lost.
I'm
Coming
so-
up the gears.
I'm just
How
so
long?
tired. Are you guys tired? I've had a
Dude.
busy couple days. I'm very tired.
I've had
Everybody okay?
COVID, and it's my first time getting COVID, and I have been 3 weeks of just like fucking sick as shit.
Oh, it sucks.
Two
Really?
weeks of like can't do anything, can't get out of bed, and then this last week I was like up and about, but I'm like still coughing
Wow.
like crazy,
Oof.
and I mean
Wow.
very
That's
very
insane.
bad.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
nasty
been
one,
awful.
man. I never got it. I got it twice, and it was like a week each time. That's crazy.
That
I'm in the-
scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I-
too.
I respect COVID in a new way.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you didn't think it was real, right? You thought like it was like a government hoax. Yeah.
I was demonstrating like crazy. I was like, the China virus is,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I remember
You know-
because when we were at the airport and that person, people had masks on, you were like, fake!
I was like, fake
fake.
news, fake news. I was like pulling masks off of kids. I
Yeah.
was like,
You know, the best.
That mask off, pussy.
it's not
The
fucking
best
real. This was me at the airport. It's not fucking real. I can't fly anymore.
machines. It's the
That
nano
sucks.
machines.
My only regret about my behavior during COVID is that I'm no longer allowed to fly on an airplane.
Well, it's not like you're in a job that requires travel, so it's
Who
fine.
cares?
The best redneck thing I saw about it, well, rednecks, whatever you want to call the anti-COVID people. I was in an airport, and this guy had a mask on because he had to in an airport at the time. And he had a mask that said on it, "This mask is as useless as Joe Biden." And I was just like, all right, you got all your shit right there on your mask. Good job, buddy.
There's no way that guy is not just seething with anger all the time.
Right, yeah, he beats whoever he lives with. He's just
Yeah.
beating them.
But
Yeah.
like his wife made him that mask, and he's like, "That's a mask I will wear. I will wear that mask."
She's like, finally, I just want you to not get our sick child sick, like, God.
Can you guys explain why are they impeaching Biden?
Oh, it doesn't have to do with Hunter Biden stuff,
Yeah,
isn't it? Because of that
does.
stuff?
Because Hunter got hired by Burisma and
Yeah, it's all. Well, the real reason
Darren,
they're
are you
impeaching
muted?
Biden is
I can't hear
because they're a bunch of petty little shits. I mean, really, so-
Yeah. Darren, your audio went. I've something to admit to is that I actually just right now found out that they're impeaching Biden.
well, I don't
even
think it's
know.
official. I think they're drawing up articles. Of
Yeah,
impeachment.
Okay.
It's not like they've impeached him yet.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, if he did something wrong, sure, fucking go for it. But it to me seems like it's like revenge for what's happening to their little golden boy. So,
Yeah.
it's so funny where they're like, well, we should impeach him. It's like, well, this guy's been like, he's been indicted like 40 times or something now. It's like, maybe he did something, you guys, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, that's like also like the funny thing is that like everyone's like Hunter Biden did all this stuff wrong, and you're like he's not that's not the president. Oh, Darren.
Yeah, he's
Darren.
he's probably because his mic or something. He'll back on.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I saw a new. I see lots of conservative, Republican, Trumpy propaganda out here, whatever.
Sorry.
I saw a new one I didn't see today that said, "No Mo Joe and the Ho 24." I was like, Jesus! So they're just fucking calling her a hoe for
No Mo Joe and the Ho 25.
It's like, oh my god! It's like a bumper
Was this
sticker.
ad written by Nell?
Good pull.
I mean,
good pull.
if Nell was a Republican, she'd probably ascend in power pretty quickly.
Chick-a-may, it's Chick-a-may. Chick-a-may in the way.
Oh my
no
god!
No Joe in the pow. But
And then
actually,
our
the funny thing about that is if you just went Mo Joe and the Ho, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Get
That's
that
a
hoe
great-
back in office, man.
Yeah, if it was like a positive use of hoe, like Kamala Harris, she's like, "Yo, I'm that hoe you want in the VP seat." We'd be like, "Yes."
Mojo and the Ho and 25.
Yo,
Can you guys hear me okay now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear you.
cool. All right.
Our governor just is getting in a scandal for having an affair with one of Trump's staff guys. Kristi Noem was banging Corey Lewandowski, one of those. Yeah, so
He was hot. That makes sense.
that broke the same day that Lauren Boebert got in trouble for what was she doing? Like touching her husband's dick at a theater at a musical or something?
Wait, what?
Yeah, she just got in trouble for like feeling up her husband's crotch somewhere. They're in public
Good for them,
somewhere.
man. Keeping the marriage spicy.
Get it
That's
freaky.
Wasn't that at
Oh, they're at Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
What, Sam?
That was at Beetlejuice, yeah. Which was
I love the idea of Beetlejuice making you like.
How do you get
horny.
caught? Like how do they get busted for that? It's
I don't-
like in a
I
dark
know.
theater. Like who's catching them?
The thing is, man, she's an idiot. So if someone's gonna figure out how to do that, I mean, she's up there. But I just like the idea of getting horny at Beetlejuice.
Yeah, man.
Like
That's,
you see a sandworm or something, like, oh my god, I need some dick.
that's Anthony King. He
Yeah.
made Beetlejuice, yeah.
Anthony's involved. Oh, that's right. I knew that. That's great. Good for him, man. That's cool. He helped her. He writes musicals, right? So he helped write it or something, right?
Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that.
Cool. Follow him in on Instagram, so I'm not
Yeah. That's probably where I
He
saw him.
produced,
right in the
season 2 of Wrecked.
biography. Oh, really?
He produced season. Oh, Wrecked. Oh, cool.
That's
cool. So, anyways, that's all of our government hoe news, I guess.
That's all. There's no other.
Any government hoe news you guys got?
No Mojo and the Ho 24.
I did see.
That's what I hate. I hate that it's kind of good. Like it's funny.
not.
It's,
not.
I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible to say that, but also it's like I don't know. It's we're still saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It is funny that I don't know that our president was about to be impeached, but I did click on an article about some Virginia senator candidate having an OnlyFans. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
Really?
oh,
Dude.
ooh, also,
Amazing.
okay, let me see this.
So what? Let them.
Yeah, I would
everyone
like-
being so prudish.
I'd be at a
Everyone's
judiciary
such a
committee meeting and just
fucking
have the camera down like in my crotch, like just showing my dick to OnlyFans while I'm like up here just being a congressman. Why
It's just
not?
those articles though, or those things of like, oh, that's I'm outraged. Let me read more about this. Does this have pictures?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
like
like,
it's part of the context to see what she looks like.
Right.
And
if I'm
Andrew
gonna be
Demery has a good comment. He goes, "That's disgusting. Where?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what it is. It's like, in order for me to be properly outraged, I need to see her nipples. That's just how it works.
So is the next election going to be like? Is the debate going to be Biden and Trump again?
It's
Is that
gonna
what's
be
happening?
from prison.
That'd be amazing. And then, like, after 45 minutes, like, a signal comes up in front of Trump, like, you must deposit more into your prison ATM account. You know?
I told you guys how I went to that. I got Ryan and I and Sarah and Ryan's wife. We went to this resort in Arizona for New Year's that was like a wedding gift to Ryan. So he like invited us. So it's like this woo-woo hippie resort called Miraval, I think it's called. And every year on New Year's Eve, they have this psychic who comes every year and makes predictions about the year ahead. And apparently she'd had some that have been pretty dead on. But this year she predicted In 2023, she said Trump will go to jail, which you could argue already happened, so who knows what I mean. She also said Joe Biden will win the election, which I know is next year, without Kamala Harris as a running mate. And she said they will find a new underwater city, which they did. She said
they did that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did.
Wait, what? Dude, what's that? What's this underwater city?
They found like under a lake in Europe or something. They found like the remains of like a I don't know, town, city.
But it's not like there's not mermaids living there, right?
Yeah.
No, Sam, there's no such thing as mermaids, and she didn't say anything about mermaids.
Okay.
Dude, I got really excited there for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, you thought she meant like a functional underground city with like fish people and like bubble cars.
I mean,
like
Jason,
a bubble.
Stuff like that.
I want Jason Momoa and
I feel
Willem
like that's
Dafoe
what's
on
being
seahorses.
advertised, like
you felt like that's what was being advertised?
Yeah. I feel like I'm not alone on this call.
I just do. Oh, I accidentally muted everybody. Okay.
I feel, Zach, you're outnumbered here. I think 3 of us think
I don't know if I
wanted
am.
mermaids.
But here was the big headline. She also said Putin would be shot and killed.
Huh.
So I feel like if
I can
Putin
see that
gets
happening.
killed
I mean,
this year,
dude.
it could happen. If that happens, I'll be like, hey, I'm not worried about it. Biden's gonna get
Right.
Gonna get
So
reelected.
Putin was going after those mercenaries. That guy died, right? That like the uprising guys, right? And now he's meeting up with Kim Jong Un or something. So kind of crazy. Somebody in chat a little while ago said this, and I wanted to bring it up because I didn't notice until right now. Someone said, "Goatee game on point." Every single one of us has a little bit of this going on right now. So I guess I just haven't thought about hygiene in a few weeks. So that's.
I don't think Sam has a goatee.
You don't have a goatee.
He's got some whiskers there. Yeah, not really goatee though. Try again, chat.
That's just my
Yeah,
shadow.
you blew it.
Yeah.
My focus keeps going out of focus. Oh yeah.
Wow, that goatee.
What else is going on,
thing
guys?
Really.
Are you
drove
okay,
things
Sam?
to
I
a
didn't mean to
halt.
hurt your feelings with that.
I mean, it just slowed things down. It just really killed the momentum.
The whole
And it's
goatee
not.
thing,
It's
like,
not you.
messed everything
It's
up.
whoever's comment that was.
Yeah.
They kind of broke our stream.
Squirrel 723 says goatee equals go Timmy. As in the letter T. There you go. Void Primate says Prigozhin died in a planned crash. I mean a plane crash. That's funny. That was Putin's like fucking the rebel dude there, right? Something like that. Anyways.
I
wonder like who would take Putin out. Like I wonder if the Americans, like at some point they're just like they got a secret ops team and they're like we really have no choice. We have to take him out. We have to send in special ops and like somebody's got to take him out. But dude, if they got caught,
I think it's way more likely that like other Russian billionaires will take him out because he's like fucking everything up over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Russia that are against this whole war.
Oh
shit.
yeah, and I think it's the kind of thing where it's like the wealthy class and the working class are all like getting fucked right now by what he's doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do
somebody goes after him, or they just have a fucking coup. I mean, that's why he had this Prigozhin guy killed, I think, because he was going to do that. And as far as the idea of an American team of assassins, like, I'm sure they're there already. They just haven't been activated. You know what I mean? There's no way we don't have some fucking people there, right?
I'm sure we have like CIA stuff, but I don't think we have like SEAL Team 6 in Russia like ready to go.
Yeah.
This may be a stretch, but I think that there's this really stupid Beatles fan who is obsessed with John Lennon, but he gets John Lennon confused with Vladimir Lenin, and then just like forgets the name really, and then is like, it's just like the leader of Russia. That's who I'm gonna kill, the leader of Russia, and he's gonna shoot him outside the Dakotas.
The Dakotas, like the states or the hotel?
No, not the
Dakota hotel?
The building.
The building.
Okay.
The building.
Okay. Well, you
John
said the
Lennon was
Dakotas, so I thought you meant like geographically.
Is it the Dakota? I forget what
it's a Dakota. So I just got confused. I thought since it's not the same situation either. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail your joke there.
It's okay. It's okay, Timmy. That joke sucked.
No, that joke ruled. You ruined it.
No.
I'm
ruined it.
blaming
The only
Timmy
reason-
on that one.
The only reason that everybody's not laughing right now, it's my fault, and I'm okay with that because I love blaming myself for shit. So whatever. Okay, I was just reading chat and I was confused by something. All right. Um, is it illegal? Someone says it's illegal to say, "I hope someone kills Vladimir Putin." I don't know. I just did, and so did they, I guess.
Darren, what's going on, man? How's your life?
Not much. I'm still floored that you have COVID for 3 weeks. Like
Yeah.
That's
anybody
so
and everybody I know, like had it for maybe 3 to 5 days, and I thought it was gone. Like
I'm a lot better than I was. I was like really sick.
Oh man.
Like,
That's
do I
insane.
go to the hospital?
Really?
You know, that kind of deal. It was
I mean-
real bad.
Like, dude, I've been traveling like crazy, and like nobody's wearing masks anymore. Like I
No.
thought it was just gone. Like to hear,
I'm pretty sure I got it at the airport.
Mm.
Ugh.
I'm in
Did
this.
you-
As I was being detained, you know, because I was like yanking masks off all these people.
This is
I
fucking
was very
bullshit.
sick. And I do
No.
remember one time there was this very sick guy, and I took his mask off and I rubbed it on my face. I was like, "It's
Oh.
not real." And that, I feel like that's probably where I got it.
It's just a cold. It's just like a cold.
I'm in
Like,
this.
I would watch a movie with a character like that. You know, like they tried to make a movie like Jack
There is
Nicholson, and As Good as It Gets, like he's an asshole kind of a guy. But I mean, like a real fucking asshole. Like,
No,
yeah,
there is one.
yanking
There's
masks
a
off
found
people.
footage movie about a woman who is like an anti-vaxxer, like alt-righter, and it's pretty good actually. And she goes to London. Who knows what this is called? She goes to
Sounds
London.
good.
It's kind of a horror movie, and she like meets up with her buddy. Come on, somebody knows it. It's like
It sounds cool.
it's not Cam. Oh fuck. It's a mockumentary. Yeah, it's a found footage movie. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. I know somebody in chat knows this. And she's got
Is
like
it
a really
dash
like,
cam?
crazy.
Is it
Yes,
dash
dash cam.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Ah.
It's
I
good.
Googled-
And it stars like a super hardcore kind of anti-vaxxer. It's a pretty decent movie actually.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
googled COVID found footage movie. That's what popped up. So I figured that
Yeah.
was
I'm actually in the Schrodinger's cat of COVID right now. As I was coming home, I found out that someone I had contact with yesterday has COVID. So I have to
Oh.
do the test.
Yeah.
Should I do the test?
You know, like Sarah didn't get it, and we were in the same house, you know,
Yeah.
the whole time. So
The
Sam,
first
explain the
review for
concept
this
of
movie
Schrodinger's
said
cat.
this movie should be
Nope.
called Karen.
Schrodinger's
That's
cat
mean.
is
They're just
Yeah.
straight up calling you an asshole for no reason. What'd
Wait,
you say,
what?
Darren or Karen? Sorry,
Karen.
sorry. Okay.
all right, Sam, Schrodinger's cat, go.
Schrodinger's cat. I forget what the like exact device was, but the whole thing was that like the scientist Schrodinger had this box, and I feel like it's a philosophical thing, never actually kind of executed. But the box had a cat in it, and there was a device that, or the thought exercise was that if there was a device that would kill the cat when you would open the box, the cat would technically be in a state of living and dead at the same time.
What? How so?
That you can't find out if the cat is alive or dead without opening the box.
But if you open it, you kill it.
You kill it. So the cat is, you know, like it's when something's kind of, it's an analog to quantum mechanics. Okay.
It's one of the most over-referenced, like philosophical conversations, blah blah blah. Like, you hear it in like so many movies, and it's always kind of name dropped. And I've never really understood what the fuck it is. I should just go on Wikipedia. And
I mean,
read
I
about
just
it.
meant like in the sense that I may have this thing, I may not. It's untested. I mean,
No, I'm not.
probably wrong
I'm not
use
talking
of
about
it.
that. I'm just talking about like the actual like what is Schrodinger's cat? Like, what does it really mean? I kind of had like
The
in my
theory
head,
was wait, here's chat. The theory was if you put a cat in a box and then fill the box with poison gas, at some point the cat will be
that is
both
not true.
dead and
That's
alive.
not what the theory is.
Poison
I love how Sam was like, "Oh, here we go. Chat's got
Oh, here
it."
we go.
Um,
If you stick an M80 in a cat's asshole and put it in a box, it will be Schrodinger's cat. I guess that's what that says. So
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
sure.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it's basically you put a poison in a box with a cat, and the cat like could have died from the poison, could have not died in the poison. So without opening the box, the cat is at the same time dead and alive.
None of that makes any sense.
Well, the idea is just you don't know for sure. That's right.
Well, why do you have to go into like poisoning a cat to say like you don't know for sure or something? This is what I never understood about it. It's like, what?
Oh, it says here that
Let's
he
get it
killed 300 cats.
No way. Fuck off.
Well, someone
I'm going in. I'm
said.
figuring this out.
Someone in chat said, "Are you sure this isn't the guy from Don't Fuck with Cats?"
Yeah.
We're never gonna get rid of that. Okay, so Laura Boebert was vaping at Beetlejuice, but then there's some video for groping the dude too. I don't know.
Groping.
Groping.
All right.
Oh, groping. Charles
In
Gropin.
the thought experiment, a hypothetical cat may be considered simultaneously both dead and alive while it is unobserved in a closed box as a result of its fate being linked to a random subatomic event that may or may not occur. The thought experiment was devised by blah, blah, blah in a discussion with Einstein to illustrate what Schrodinger saw as the problems with Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics. Okay, all of that is just like not answering my question exactly.
It's basically like Copenhagen's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I saw. I finally saw Oppenheimer. Yeah,
Okay, what'd you think?
Oh,
it's okay. It was like
Yeah.
like the Oppenheimer of it all. The bomb stuff was really good. It's, you know what? I think it might be my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, but not my favorite like government, like scientist bureaucracy kind of at odds innovation movie. Because I think
What would that be?
I would say Imitation Game. I thought Imitation Game was like
okay.
a much like, while it didn't have the you know, the bomb of it all, I thought that was a better told story.
yeah, that was a good. I like that movie.
But I also like I think The Right Stuff is kind of a similar thing too. With like, there's a similar feel there, and I think the Right Stuff is better. But I mean, just that the bomb part of it was really crazy. It's just also there's just these lines of dialogue that are very like, all right, like there's moments in it where it was like, yeah, this is the guy that made Batman. There's like these like very like kind of comic booky like, oh, there's a junior senator in here by the name of Kennedy who didn't you know, it's like very like
Oh, they go out of their way to like do the references kind of thing.
do the references. It's very kind of what's the like what do you call that? The origin story kind of thing? Like
Yeah,
yeah.
like a prequel almost.
Yeah, or like the Solo movie, it kind of felt like in a way. Where
Oh, dude, the Solo movie, there's so much unnecessary I love the things they decided they needed to give origins for. That movie tells you why his last name is Solo. We didn't need to know that. Why
Why is it?
Chewie's bandolier looks like that, and why they call Millennium Falcon her. It's like, we didn't need to know any of that shit.
Why is he called Solo?
So he's like getting onto this, like he's like this poor kid on this planet, and he's like sneaking his way onto an Imperial ship, and you know, like lying to get on the ship. And they're like, "What's your last name?" He's like, "I don't have a last name." They're like, "Who are you with?" He's like, "I'm Solo." That's like literally what happens. That made it into a script and into a movie, and then they hired another new director to finish the movie, and it still made it in. So there you
I don't know
go.
if I hate it or not. I feel like if I was in like the writer's room and somebody like pitched that, would I be like, terrible? No. Or would I be like, yeah.
I don't
know.
To me, like, you know, and you guys know I was a big Star Wars fan like my whole life, but to me it's just like I never once in my entire life of loving all that stuff did I ever be like, but why is his last name Solo?
Right.
Like there's, you know, why is that guy's name Chewbacca? Why are there aliens with 3 eyes? Who gives a shit? That's not what this is about, you know? But it's just funny to me when they do unnecessary things. What was that?
It would have been better if they were like, what's your last name? And he was like, I'm Han Solovitz. And they're like, Solo. And they're just like,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
He's like,
I
oh.
can't say
That'd be way
that.
better.
They just fucking Ellis Island him.
Yeah, exactly.
So why is your last name Skywalker? Well, I'll tell you.
My family was rich, so we got a good passport. I didn't have to go to Ellis Island and get fucked with, you know. But yeah, that's oh yeah, and then they say so. Millennium Falcon. They give this whole fucking weird long reason to why they call it her. It's like, yo, they just call ships her. No one ever needed.
No.
There's like this whole thing where like this robot's consciousness is put into the ship, and now she's trapped there. It's like, and it's so it makes it like this weird, sad thing. This like living being is trapped in this fucking ship. It's like, why? Why? I don't know. It was just a funny.
It also makes it really
Anyways.
weird that doesn't like Han Solo keep gambling it away?
So it's
Or did that
Lando's
happen?
ship.
So.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right,
it's-
because Lando loses it to Han, and then but in those later movies, yeah, you're right.
So
He
it's
lost
weird
it
that
to
it's
somebody
this
else.
person.
So he's gambling away a woman's life, pretty much. What an
Yeah.
asshole. Maybe Star Wars this whole time is supposed to have been some sort of human trafficking allegory. I don't know.
Maybe this whole time Star Wars was kind of dumb.
That's the other thing. Is like it is kind of dumb. It's supposed to be like an old Flash Gordon thing, and everybody puts so much fucking weight on it. And it's like, just let it be. It's kind of a dumb, fun thing, man. What's wrong with that? You know? So whatever. It's like a guy running around with a laser sword and a samurai, a big plastic samurai. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, the guy's name is Skywalker. Like, it's a stupid name.
Yeah. I just there's so many things like that, you know. But anyways, I was just saying that in reference to the whole what you said about Oppenheimer. I didn't see Oppenheimer yet, so you guys' consensus seems to be that it's kind of like meh or what?
I mean,
Or you said the bomb part's cool.
it's a 3-hour movie. I think like there's parts I liked about it, parts I didn't.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have like it's that I don't know. There's something about Christopher Nolan that just drives me crazy.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's just it's so annoying. I mean, and like anytime like I've like wanted to go back and try to watch Dark Knight, like to see Heath Ledger play the Joker, but you're like that dialogue is just so terrible.
You have
And
to
the
wait
plot-
for such a slog to see Heath Ledger do cool shit in that movie. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
brutal.
insane. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I
I
think he's,
agree. Thank you. I feel like all of Chris Nolan's Batman movies are just like a tedium.
two things.
Yeah.
He is a much better filmmaker than he is a screenwriter. And the other thing is like I think almost all of his movies are in some way like an allegory for filmmaking, or they're all have like some roots in that. And it's very kind of like, you know, we're here on Self Suck Saturday. You want to talk self suck? Let's talk about Christopher Nolan. Making this movie about like this brilliant scientist, maybe the most important scientist of his time, going up against bureaucracies. Having to hand away his beautiful ideas and have them taken away from him and used by these big systems.
I didn't think about that.
But you're right, the Dark Knight's the same fucking thing. Because the Dark Knight, they're like at the end, they're like he's like, I need to break all these rules and invade everyone's privacy to find the Joker. So it's like again, the system trying to keep this guy from doing the good thing. Huh. Interesting.
I don't think so. I thought Dark Knight, the whole thing was that he was using the system to get what he wanted, but he was overreaching.
Right, he was
wasn't that the
overreaching, but
system
like
was
I don't know if the
overreaching,
movie ever said he was wrong though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman said it exactly.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
I think he even said this is wrong.
He does say this is wrong. You're right. Forgot about that. Whenever I think about the Nolan Batman movies now, I just always think about Bane because it's just the funniest thing, and it's just great.
Yeah.
Like I like that movie as like not as probably as they intended, but I see it's like I think it's like an insane cartoon of a movie. The last one, and I don't know, but all those movies are too long, and the only reason I didn't see Oppenheimer is because it's 3 hours, and there have been like 5 3-hour movies this year, and then my kid wanted to see all of them, and I'm like, all right, she doesn't want to see Oppenheimer, so I'm not going to see it because I've seen enough 3-hour movies this year. You know.
What were the other 3-hour movies?
Mission Impossible 7. Well, John Wick 4 I saw first, but then she and I watched it. Spider Across the Spider-Verse is pretty long. It was over 2.5. And there was another one. I was like, why the fuck are all these? And I loved the Spider-Verse movies.
I don't. like the length of a movie has never bothered me. Like,
Well,
yeah,
I
I could watch a 5 hour movie and be completely content, unless it's not like garbage. But like if I see like a movie's a 3.5 hour movie, like that's not gonna stop me from going to see it.
I I just the older I get, the less, and I don't know if it's ADHD or what it is, but I just can't like I freak out like when I actually sit down and watch it, sure, but I like can't bring myself to fucking sit down like, oh my God, it's 3 hours long. I can't do that. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
watched a 9 hour movie during COVID,
dude, what the fuck did you watch?
like
With
2 weeks ago.
Showa?
It's no, I think it's longer than Showa.
Russian Ark?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called The Human Condition. It's a Japanese movie from the 50s or 60s.
Jesus.
I think 50s, but it was great. I loved it.
Wow, I'll look it up.
How many
Who made
World
sittings?
War One movie. It was fucking good.
That's crazy.
How many sittings did you watch it in? One sitting or?
3. No, 3.
Okay.
Zach, have you seen Brighter Summer Day?
I started it 2 weeks ago, oddly, during COVID, because I had such a good experience with Human Condition, and I was bedridden. So I was like, let's fucking go for Brighter Summer Day. It's always been on my list. I've always wanted to watch it. So I watched like 45 minutes of it, and I was into it. But I don't know why, but I had to turn it off for some reason. I never came back to it. Oh, I will, but
Yeah,
it looked good.
it's good. It's
If
awesome.
that
a thing, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is
Is
that
it
Coruscant? No.
No,
No,
is it?
somebody else.
It's Taiwanese, right? Is it Taiwanese?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
Taiwanese.
And
Taiwanese.
is it? Does it get into like crime, like a murder happens or something like that? Because where I was, it was just like gangs of kids fighting each other, but it felt a little twee. You know, it wasn't like fucked up
Yeah,
yet.
there's a murder in it, but it doesn't like kind of build like some sort of climax like American structured movies or anything like that. It's just like it's just the story and it's just going kind of in and out and it's
What's
it's
it called
so
again?
natural. These kids in the movie are just such fucking
Yeah,
great
it was
actors.
great
It's
acting.
unreal.
It's called
It's
Brighter
like, how do
Summer
you
Day.
find these kids? It's unbelievable. But
I
really
watched
good.
a great movie. It's a French movie. It's not out yet, or I think it's Spanish. It's Spanish, but the lead character is French. So it's a Frenchman in Spain. But it's called Las Bestas, which means the beasts in Spanish, and it's fucking awesome. So when that comes out, like later this year, definitely see it.
Is it a horror movie or what is it?
No, it's like a suspense movie, but it's
Las
it's kind of in the
Bestias?
vein of like a Haneke or like
Okay,
one of those kinds of deals.
Cool.
But it was great.
Oh, I heard something.
so this Taiwanese movie's 4 hours long, but I mean that's the thing is like I do watch longer movies, but just like in the theater sometimes like I don't know if I can handle it. Like I watch Seven Samurai, Great Escape recently, longer movies, but like just sometimes it just I don't know it turns. But also I've become obsessed with like weird little genre and horror movies, which are like 90 minutes is like the long end for some of those kind of thing,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I feel like more and more I get excited for like a nice like well-made 90-minute movie, something
Yeah.
that's
Me
under
too,
2
dude.
hours.
I
is
think
like,
it's
oh,
kind
wow.
of in a way it's kind of become a lost art because another part of it is like some of these longer movies I've really enjoyed, but then like why is any Transformers movie over 2 hours?
Yeah, there's no point.
Like there's fucking no reason for that.
Like,
Or the
Mission
Marvel
Impossible-
films. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Huh?
I went and saw that Mission Impossible movie that just came out, and I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, it's a movie that's full of Tom Cruise and action sequences and explosions, and I was just like, please be over soon.
It was so long, and I loved the last couple one of those, but it was not as good as 4 or 5, or 5 or 6 are kind of my favorites, and it's still like I'm interested to see the next part or whatever, but it's like okay, yeah, it's just getting too big for its britches kind of thing,
Have you guys
Like it's not.
seen the show Mr. In Between? Sorry for interrupting.
No, the FX show, right?
It was I think originally an Australian show. It's so
Okay,
fucking
no, I haven't
good.
seen it.
I fucking loved
My
it.
friend Joey told me about it. You've been watching it?
Yeah. It's 3 seasons. I think it's done.
No.
And it's like it's very like it has the vibe of like a Breaking Bad kind of thing because it's like about this like kind of hitman kind of like does those kind of jobs kind of guy, and he's also just like he's a part-time dad, and he's a really good father, and so it's kind of like that, but it's never really about him like hiding from the cops or like him like, you know, trying to hide that part, but and it's half-hour episodes.
Oh,
It's
I like that.
And they're able to have every episode be like fun, interesting, funny, and like a lot of cool crime stuff. Like so much, and it just completely like I've burnt through it. I loved it.
Cool.
I'll check it out.
What was that other show, Sam? You were saying the not the American, but there was a show that you were like obsessed with that not many people knew about. Patriot.
Patriot's really cool.
Is that the guy who goes to Luxembourg?
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed, I think, the first 2 seasons. I don't know, did they make any more?
I don't think they made any more. There was a different show that they made after that. The people that made that.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
Sam, sorry, this is coming back to Mission Impossible, but I remember we came on a stream and you were like, I watched all the Mission Impossible movies. And so
wow.
I've been flying back and forth to the States, and so it's just like movie time. And of course, like sometimes they have like the franchises, and so like I think my second flight, I was like, I watched Mission Impossible 1, and then I started Mission Impossible 2. Oh my god!
Yeah, that movie, man, dude.
That movie is unbelievable.
Oh wait a minute, what goes on in that movie?
That's the John Woo one. Oh, dude.
Yes,
So
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Darren, I recently showed my daughter all the Mission Impossibles, and she loved all of them except she didn't like 3 very much because of the nose bomb that creeped her out. But she's like, and what was going on with part 2? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, there was too much of a love story. And this is before I ever told her about the whole stereotypical John Woo stuff. And she goes, the love story was weird. And then there was all these like explosions and slow motion birds. I'm like, that's what that guy does.
Yeah.
It's his whole fucking
That's his whole thing.
his deal. The part where the cars on the cliff and they're like dancing around each other.
That's the scene that I still can't get through my head, like how they actually wrote
and they're
that.
falling in love. And it's like,
his motivation. He's got to go. He has to recruit her, right?
Mm-hmm.
He needs her to help him on this job. And he's like, you know, hey, how are you? Speeds up next to her. She's like, you got to catch me. And then she just immediately slams her like $300,000 Audi into his Porsche. And he's like, whoa, hey. And they just start slamming each other. And they get in this totally crazy car crash where they just spin out of control. And then she's hanging off a cliff and he gets there.
Her car falls off the cliff.
Just stops his car. He's like, whoa, all right. I'm going to need your information. I'm going to need to see a picture of your driver's license and your insurance.
He picks her up off the cliff and goes like, so we're going to fuck now, right? It's like, what? Which is, I think they do right after that. Yeah. So it's like, and when he meets her, he's like stealing something and catches her trying to steal it too. And it's kind of should be like a sexy scene because they're like in this bathtub and she's right over him. But it's like not. It's just so awkward, you know. The whole thing's just kind of like, I think he was like John Woo like saw Out of Sight and he's like, I could make an Out of Sight Mission Impossible movie. They're like, you can't.
I think you're like the production designer, the art director for John Woo, and you're in pre-production, and he's like, I think in this shot we should get a lot of birds. You're like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Good job.
Get the birds.
What?
And also, maybe
can you not get a bird?
Scene,
can you not get birds?
Yeah.
No, I have a bird guy lined up. I knew.
Yeah, we already. Yeah.
What?
And also, maybe we should move this scene to take place in a church, right? How'd you know I was going to say church?
Yeah, we've got the church locked up. We've got the bird guy all locked up. Well, what if I didn't want a church and a bird?
And we already preset all your cameras to 47 frames per minute. It's gonna fucking look great.
Yeah.
And John, so like, what is the scene exactly that you want the birds for? Like this 5th scene, and he's like, well, you know, in the kitchen when he opens the pantry to look for a snack, birds.
Oh.
That scene, you want birds?
A close up of his face and he just looks really sad. They're like, okay, John.
I love in that movie, he, you know, when you first see him, he's like free soloing on a mountain.
Yes,
like he's free soloing, and a helicopter comes up, and they shoot a bazooka at him, and then the bazooka has like, it's not like a missile, it's like a dart that has a canister, and the canister has sunglasses that give him his mission. And it's like, there has to be an easier way. Like,
that's just a waste of taxpayer dollars, guys.
What if you just?
Sorry.
What if you guys just? Because he's right at the top of like a plateaued mountain thing, right? So they're like, what if you just landed the helicopter and like he got in and it told him?
Yeah.
You could have texted him on Signal, and we could have saved the taxpayers.
That's what I always like about that. Like,
you know?
they have all this amazing technology. It's like, but you could. He doesn't have like a Dick Tracy fucking video watch. Just do that. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like that, the whole coming up with the plan just to get him the message, that is a whole prequel movie in itself.
Yeah.
And you don't know that it's related to Mission Impossible until like the very end. You've been
That would
watching
be
the
so
whole
funny.
movie.
I would love
putting
that.
together this crack team with helicopters and bazookas and all these things. At the end, you realize it's just to give this agent his thing. So that in the second movie is when this stuff happens. But this is just
So you have to go watch Mission Impossible 2 after this movie, everybody.
Yeah.
Plays right into it.
But you've gotten to grow with the characters, so you like it's Mission Impossible 2, but every once in a while you cut back to what the helicopter pilot's doing at home, what the guy with the bazooka was like. You know, hey, do you ever think how that mission's going? Oh, probably good. I don't know. We did our job.
Have you guys ever seen that John Woo porno that he directed?
What?
Yeah, it's like these people are fucking, and then this guy like pulls out, and it's like super slow mo, and all these birds fly up behind him. He's like, "Good job!" It's really crazy.
It's
and
called
like
Heart.
Opera music is playing. It's really
It's
weird.
called Extra Hard Boiled, right?
Yeah.
And I know I just said I hate prequel things, but like over explaining things, but that Mission Impossible idea, like, because you think about all the different ways they've given these guys messages over the movies. There's one where it's like a smoking vinyl thing that has holograms come up or something, but it looks like a vinyl record. And like every time he gets one, it's like this extremely elaborate thing. So it'd be funny to have like the people like building this fucking phone booth to go put in Prague that's ended up gonna like, you know, give him all this like information and holograms and shit. And they're just like, what's this for? It's to tell the guy one thing.
Well,
You
I think
It's
whenever
like I put my fucking fingers off so this guy can get 3 sentences.
My wife divorced me because I've been gone all the time. And it's just to tell him to go to Spain? That's all it's saying?
I will fucking go tell him that. I know what hotel I'm staying in.
He was just here. I can call him. No. Finish making your laser record. Okay, fuck.
It's crazy that was like, it's crazy to think that this whole huge franchise was just like a shitty 60s 70s TV show. Like,
Yeah.
that's like one of those things where the smoke, I think, is because the message is supposed to self-destruct.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's-
they have to
that's-
keep that from the show. Yeah.
From
Yeah,
the show.
you have to do it. You know what's
Yeah.
weird about that too, about with that franchise is so, you know, in the first Mission Impossible movie, spoilers for a 30-year-old movie, but so, you know, John Voight's playing, it's like it's technically a sequel to the old show, and John Voight is playing the main character from the old show, and then he's just gotten so sick of how things work that he's turned. That's kind of what that is.
It's like when they made the Brady Bunch movie. Like they had to have 2 families that marry and then the kids. Like, you know, otherwise it wouldn't be. But everything else,
Right.
You know,
Or like in the Beverly Hillbillies, they had to be hillbillies, right?
yeah, and they had to find oil and go to Beverly Hills.
Yo, didn't the guy that played Ernest? But yeah, he was in that movie. Oh man.
I saw the reboot of this new reboot of the Brady Bunch, where it was like about these like 2 families living together, and it was way different. It was on this site where I watched everything like 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah. And it was all shot from like a point of view of like one of the sons.
Yeah.
And like nothing ever got resolved. And
Yeah.
they made weird choices.
Like I never thought the dad and Marcia would do that, but I mean, I guess it's their creative license, you know?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was modern.
I wonder of all of our 84, 87 streams, how often we jump to porn.
I was proud
I
of
remember
myself
there's
for
that one
waiting
person in
45
chat
minutes.
that's like,
Yes, there was that
Doing
time.
it
I
again.
think they commented on YouTube after like this is the. They said like it was someone, I forget, it's someone who we interact with all the time and has watched the stream all the time. But they said they're like, yo, I'm no prude or anything, but this is the 4th episode in a row where they just talked about porn for like an hour. It's like, that sounds like us. Well, Sam, I don't think, have we talked to Darren since have we ever talked to Darren about our podcast idea?
Oh, no, we haven't. Wait, right. First, I have to read this comment. Ty Aubrey Plaza said, Brady Bunch movie walked so Step Bro and Step Sis videos could run.
That's good. Oh, man. No, Sam and I came up with a podcast, Darren. Sam, you want to explain it?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what? I forget. Was it Load?
It's called Load. It's called
Load. It's,
Can you tell where it's going?
We talk about, like what we've been jerking it to lately and such. And every episode starts out with me
what
going,
you fapping at?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we started. Be like, well,
I
accidentally got a bikini catalog in the mail this week, and then just go from there. So.
And
are you pretending that you would jerk off to a bikini catalog? Because in this
depends.
weird world, you don't look at internet pornography.
Well, we all know that's not true.
Do we? We do.
I don't know. It's just because I talk. I mean, look at me, and I've you guys, I've done stand-up jokes about watching porn for like decades now. I'm okay with it. But anyways, whatever the fuck, I derailed us. But yeah, so that's the podcast. Is Load.
Load, yeah, and every episode starts out.
Why are you telling Darren and not me? Did I already hear about this?
Yeah, you did.
We told you.
I forgot about it.
Because we were, because we told you on that one. There was one that was just the 3 of us, and we told you about it.
And so it's a podcast where you just talk about what you jerk off to.
Yeah, no, well, what was the last? No, everybody goes around and says, "What's the last thing you jerked off to?"
But
and
we were joking. So everybody is just you two.
Right. No, but we have guests. And when we told you,
like, what is this podcast about? Yeah, I'm not going to be on it.
No, but when we told Zach about it, because I watched some of that VOD a little while ago. When we told Zach about it, the joke was like that every time we talk to Zach, she's like, my wife. Yeah.
Every episode starts out with me going, "Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire." Which is from the Metallica song Load.
I love how bad that joke, and like that joke is dumb, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like, there would be people watching.
It's a perfect slogan.
It is, and there's people watching. They would take them like a few episodes before they're like, oh fuck, that's a Metallica lyric. This fucking moron. It'd take a little bit.
It would be good. It would be good though, because people would figure out like new stuff to jerk off to. Yeah. They'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was a subreddit.
It would be, if you looked it up on like Apple Podcasts, it'd be under self-help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me read some
for the month that it would be on Apple Podcasts.
Right, until people are like, get this fucking shit off of here. This can only be on Pornhub or the dark web. Okay, so Debilify donated $10 and says, hi, Darren.
Oh.
Hi.
All right, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Squirrel7232 donated $10 and says, I like funny jokes. Well, what are you doing here?
I think that was my favorite dono comment ever.
I like funny jokes.
I think maybe that
maybe
was like
the tone was different though.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I like funny jokes.
Yeah, you maybe need to put like asterisks around funny, like I like funny jokes. Enough with the cum podcast.
Guys,
well, in that case, I don't like that comment anymore.
No, that was before that.
Let's get to the lols.
Demi donated $20, thank you, and says, is this a reference to us? Demi donated $20 and says, can Zach and Darren recreate the reconciliation scene 3/4 down on page 93? Is that from the audition sketch?
Yes.
Okay. And then they say, I love you guys, been watching since I was a freshman in high school. Thank you. And don't tell us how old you are now. I don't need to feel old, That was 20 years ago. It's like, oh God. Hyphopotamus in the city. I always love that name. Donated $10 and says, glad you're feeling better, Zach. I'm homesick with COVID right now, and it's not fun.
It's not
Thanks
fun.
for keeping me company. Yeah, it sucks.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
All right. And also, a whole bunch of people have been resubbing, and thank you very much for doing that. Lobaka resubbed and said, I thought the porn talk was the selling point.
Yeah, man.
Maybe. I mean, it must be at this point. So.
I think it would be really funny if you guys started that podcast. It was just the two of you, but you always talked about like, welcome to Love. This is where everybody goes and talks about what they jerk off. It's just the two of you. You never have anyone on. And it's just you guys talking about your favorite.
But you are going to get a guest
experiences
next
of the
week.
week.
You promise a guest. Yes.
Yeah,
all
we
right,
never
well,
do it.
It's that time for favorite fap of the week. Timmy, what was your favorite?
Timmy,
fap
what is
this
it? Well,
week?
Sam, I've been in her up for a few weeks, so you're gonna say Jennifer Aniston again? Just the most random shit. No, not Jennifer Aniston, Sam. Jennifer Aniston fakes. Okay,
It's funny because I want you guys to make this podcast so bad, but I would never listen to a fucking second of it. But
And
I would
also,
be
it
so
would-
happy if I just knew it existed. You know
It
what I
would
mean?
definitely have to be made after Mars is released. Like, okay, we just
What if it was worse than that? What if it was like, so Timmy, what you been jerking it to lately? Oh, well, there's this girl I work with.
I thought I was going to the old spank bank this
she
week.
is
you know? I try to do that
smoking.
once a week. I try and do the spank bank, not the.
What's her name? Her name is Jennifer Turin. 43 years old. She lives down the street.
hot
All right.
mama.
Read off
Jen,
her Instagram
ring me up,
account
bro.
address to me right now.
Oh, Timmy
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
she is hot. I'm going to do it this week to her too. Yeah, it's like,
That'd be
is that
terrible.
illegal? Is it illegal to go on a podcast and just talk about how you talk to the girl that works at your coffee shop? And
I don't know.
Amazing.
I feel
That's
like
gotta be.
if it's not, it's at least definitely socially unacceptable.
Yeah,
Well, yes.
it's probably harassment on some level.
I mean,
Yeah.
right? Because
on
if the
some
person,
level, on a huge level.
yeah,
It's-
because if
it's
she happened
horrible.
upon it, she would probably feel very gross and horrible.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
totally.
yeah, unless she a freak. I don't know.
But what if the judge heard it and was like, I don't know, pretty good. This is a pretty good podcast.
The people that work at the car store, we got to get rid of this horny judge. He's okay with all these horny guys. So last weekend I went and saw Ween, which by the way was fucking an amazing. They're still great. It was an amazing show, and
Cool.
I saw some friends of mine who are from here, and they were like, one of them because I know since we talked about my ska band and people know about it again. One of them was a guitarist, by the way. Anyway, but so they asked me. I have two quick stories from this. First of all, they asked me like, "What's going on in Watertown these days?" And I said, mainly catching pedophiles. And it's because like the news for like all summer long, they've caught so many fucking pedophiles, and not just like the pedophiles that look creepy and weird and you see like the picture like, oh well, of course. But then like these dudes who are like part of like kiddie porn rings that were like well-to-do people in town, well off, had families and shit, and they were like
Really?
making money with kiddie porn rings and shit. Like one of them got caught
Seriously?
trying to flee the country. He got caught in LA, like trying to get out of the country. So
From
like
Watertown, South Dakota?
yeah. So it's like fucking
What's the population of Watertown?
22,000. So, and there's been a bunch of busts, and some of them probably committed these crimes a while ago, but I think there must have been some big investigation or something, because like the
Wow.
news every 2 weeks lately has been like, we got another fucking creep. And that's good that they're getting them, but also why are there so many?
Here's what I've always wondered.
Uh-huh.
And this is why whenever you hear about like people talk about like these major, I'm not saying there's no such thing as pedophile rings.
Right, yeah.
Everything under the sun exists.
Yes.
But when everyone talks about like, Hollywood, it's like pedophiles everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen it. And I wonder how they imagine these pedophiles find each other.
I
Like,
know, right?
Who is going to go up to another adult and be like, hey, you seem cool. We know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
do you want to, don't tell
Right.
anybody, but, cone of silence here.
Right.
Like, how does that fucking...
Yeah. Well, and what would be,
Yeah.
would be, however you would figure out your approach, what is the success rate?
Am I naive? I must be naive. It must be
I don't
like,
know, man, but I mean,
mean-
well, first of all, a lot of times when people talk about like liberal pedophile rings, well, they're not basing it off of shit except that they don't like the people, right? But like,
yeah.
then you see stuff like this, and it's like, yeah, this guy like had a fucking setup, and it's like, I don't know how he found his customers or whatever, how they found him, it's like, it
think
clearly
that's-
was happening,
That's probably the internet, right? Or like,
Well, I mean, it's gotta be
It's
some
got to
kind
be
of
the internet.
shit.
But when they talk about like elite Hollywood cabal,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like...
yeah.
It's gotta be.
But then I know that like Bryan Singer did have like a group, but that was more like it was a bunch of like gay men who would like put feelers out there for younger gay men
Yeah,
to
what
come
they
and
call
be around,
twinks,
and they would
right?
just
Yeah.
encourage the younger and the younger and the younger until they ended up with underage boys. And then, you know, I can understand how that could like come to be.
Nate and I had this is a horrible way to start this out. Nate and I had the worst idea last night. We were
Please explain quickly.
So there's this thing, VR chat, where it's like you can wear the VR helmet and go in. Everyone's got avatars, and so we're going on. And Nate has a voice changer, and he was like, "Oh, it's funny because I can make my voice sound like a kid." And then I had the idea of, "Oh, I should like go up to you in this space because like people can hear you and be like, hey, what's your name?" And like have you be like and do like a what would you do where I'm like, hey, oh, that's cool, where do you live? Oh, that's cool, do you mind if I come by?
God,
Just
this is not a good idea,
if
man.
people around react, you know, people,
Like little avatars walk up. Do not listen to him. Don't.
No, we didn't do that. But,
That'd be great.
That would be really funny though. No, don't tell him. You're just telling your address. Like, oh, that's so cool. I live actually 45 minutes away from you.
Yeah.
You want me to bring beers? Yeah, bring some beers. I've never had a beer before. My parents are out of town.
I'll bring
Kids,
some
no,
condoms
don't tell
too.
Oh no.
Yeah, sure. Bring some condoms. What is a condom? Oh, you're gonna learn, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, kid, do me a favor. Take a shower before I get there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why? You know, like, oh
Hold
my
on,
God.
I'm gonna go to another chat room for a second and come back, and then everyone, hey kid, don't go near that guy.
Oh
Wow,
man.
he seems so cool. I love him.
Dude, Sam, you probably don't remember this. I remember I was playing FIFA or some video game at your apartment in Brooklyn on like at Funhouse, or not a Funhouse,
The 506.
506. Yeah.
yeah. And I was playing online, and I remember we were like we had like some there were like kids in our group that obviously were strangers or something like that, and the kids were like being assholes. And you know, it was like, I think it was like Call of Duty or something like that. We were on like a team. We could hear like the whole chat. That's what it was.
In the not in our space with
Not
us.
in the apartment. No, I mean like on the game.
You said like
playing,
this, and I thought that you're like, we had some strange kids with us.
There's
You know
some
how you would
fucking
always
kids
have
around.
kids? I always thought that was weird, by the way, how you'd always have these kids at your apartment.
Zach,
it was
shut
like,
up.
We're playing like Call
Sam,
of
they're-
Duty. And there's
Zach,
like
they're
kids
called the
on our
Lost
team.
Boys.
This was probably in like 2007 or something like that.
Yeah.
And there were like kids on our team, and I remember like some kid was being really fucking annoying, and he probably called me like, you know, the F word or something like that. And I was like, hey kid, like I've been able, you know, you don't know who you're fucking with. Like I'm paraphrasing, but I was like, I know how to find out where you live through this connection, and I'm gonna
Jesus.
fucking kill you. And I remember I said that to this kid, and you and like I think Mike Ada were like, no, Zach, no, and then you like took the thing off me and you like shut it down. You're like,
Oh,
"Hey, you
God.
can't do that. That's so fucked up. And I
That
got
is
really
funny.
scared. I was like, oh no, like if that kid were to report, like, could we get it? Remember, it was like a serious thing. Like, did I cross a line? Are we gonna get in trouble? Like,
Oh my
threaten to murder a
God.
child?
That is
Well,
funny.
the question of did you cross the line? Yeah.
Yes, that part was not a question.
We didn't get in
Oh,
trouble.
man.
No, we're all good. That kid, I gave that kid some characters.
You know
Yeah.
what? People are saying "Wow, Zach," and I feel like I haven't seen a lot of those lately, so that's good.
It reminds me of like, did I tell you guys this story? I probably have told this on the stream before, but it was Halloween. There's the Halloween haunted hayride in LA, and like you get on this like hayride and you go through Griffith Park and you go to like scene to scene, you know, so that you park at a scene, it'll be like these actors doing like zombie stuff. Then you move on in another scene and it'll be like a demon possession thing. And then you like roll on to another area. So there's like all these little like 4-minute plays that are done, right? And our hayride, have I talked about this?
I don't know.
Hayride,
I haven't heard.
Oh,
our hayride breaks down in front of this one scene where these like zombies are doing their thing. And the zombies have like killed each other in the scene. It's time for the scene to be over and for us to roll on, but our hayride can't move. So we're just sitting there staring at these actors. And they're just like, and I'll never forget it. It was like one of the guys was like 20 years old, and he's obviously an aspiring actor here in LA.
Yeah.
And he was just like, time to shine. Time to go.
God.
And so he like stumbled up to the hayride, like clearly winging it, and he sees this little girl, and he goes, "What's your name, little girl?" And she goes, like, Andrea. And he goes, "Guess what, Andrea? I'm gonna follow you home, and I'm gonna kill you." And every grown-up man on the hayride was like, "No, this is over. No, it was so good. It was like the most inappropriate thing."
You could and when you say like 20-year-old aspiring actor, like you can immediately picture that kind of guy, and just it's so fucking awkward. Oh my God!
I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Go for what? Getting restraining orders?
Like in his mind, there's like some casting director on the hayride who's like, that young man is terrifying.
Yeah. He like threatens this girl, then turns around, he just hears a slow clap from the cart.
Like, you got the goods.
Welcome to Famous Town.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I'm gonna follow you. Plus, a zombie's not gonna follow you around.
Yeah.
Zombies
I'm
are
a
like...
zombie, but I'm able to use my powers of deduction.
Yeah, I can read maps.
Yeah. I'm gonna memorize your license plate on the way home, enter it into a database.
Oh man.
I'm a zombie, but before I died, I was a stalker. So
yeah, it's the only thing I remember how to do from life.
Two people in chat just made the same joke right after each other. Salami Dahmer said that guy was Philip Seymour Hoffman. And then Dolliker says, "I heard that's how Brad Pitt got his start." So those are both good jokes.
Halloween's coming up, so we get all those videos of someone getting way into Halloween and pretending to be a part of the Halloween decoration, and then someone else getting scared and punching him.
Yeah. Those are always good.
So the new, this is my new house, and the owners that lived here before moved here in 2004, and they would go so balls out on Halloween.
Nice.
That like it became a destination. And he was like, there are people that drive up from San Diego to see this house on Halloween night.
Whoa.
And we haven't been able to tell them that we're moving. So like, you're going to have a lot of people coming here to like look at the house on Halloween. I was like,
oh man,
I'm not doing anything. Like, we're going to have a lot of disappointed people on Halloween coming here.
You have to do something.
You got to get the big skeletons.
Dude, you got to make it the worst Halloween decorations anyone's ever seen.
And then they're going to be like, hey, did you hear that? You know who bought the Halloween house? The guy who made Barbarian.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's going to be even better.
It's going to be great. He loves scary stuff.
Do you know what would be cool is if you like came out and were like, I'm not doing anything, sorry. But then like had someone jump from the bushes and stab you and have like full effects and like blood.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be pretty great.
Yeah, sorry everybody, we just moved in. We don't have time to do anything special for Halloween.
Yeah, Zach saying that, and then you hear from behind, you hear bye 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 bye, and his head just gets fucking ripped off. That'd be great.
Yeah. Or he gets stabbed and then go, "This isn't fake. This isn't fake."
Call the police.
This is really happening to me right now. A lot of people are saying put up Christmas decorations. That's a good move. That'd be pretty funny.
No, just do
put up
like one sheet with like 2 holes in it hanging from a tree, a ghost, and that's it.
That's what I was gonna say. Just put up one shitty decoration, like one that a mom got out of Better Homes and Gardens in 1997. One of those decorations. Just a drawing of a scarecrow that says "Happy Fall, y'all." Just that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this time of year though. I'm so glad. I was so glad when the heat thing ended. Did you guys get a heat wave too? Didn't you out there in LA? No. Okay. New York did. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I've been in bed for 3 weeks.
Yeah. How would you know? Yeah. New York got it really bad. But God. Yeah, it's time to fucking chill out. And I've been walking through a cemetery with my mom, like going on morning walks, and we live near a big cemetery. And she's like, some of these are pretty funny. Some of these last names are pretty. It's kind of funny, like how that person's last name is Sample. It's like, what if that's just a sample? I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, she's like, you ever think of taking pictures of any? I'm like, well, one of them, but I didn't tell her what it was and I've always thought of taking a picture of it and sending it to you guys because it's just the person's last name, Cum, Kumm, really big letters on a huge monument. I'm like, that's great.
How you doing, Marty Cum? Nice to meet you. Yeah, Marty Cum. That's right.
And it's like not clever at all. I'm just like, it says Cum, So, but yeah.
Mr. Cum was my dad.
Yeah.
Call me Tony.
Me, I'm Marty.
And he was a teacher. The kids loved him.
Oh man.
Dude,
My,
if you walked into like your first day of class and the teacher's name was Cum, like it would be game over, man.
If you were like,
or
that would have to be the teacher's
boy named Sue, because like the teacher would be so like used to that shit. Like everyone's like, your name's Cum, all right, bring it.
Yeah.
He beats up
Like
all
you
the
just
kids.
you just fucking own up to it, I suppose. But I mean, so when my brother, I'm the oldest of 6, so this is way after I was in high school. But my youngest brother, when he was in high school, the principal's last name was Butts, Butts. I'm like, how the fuck did that guy last this long in the public education system? You know what I mean? Like, because he was a teacher first, and and eventually became a principal. It's like, dude, Mr. Butts, that guy must just have a fucking skin of titanium,
Hedgicle had a Mrs. Butt.
You had a Mrs. Butt. Well, his wife was a teacher or a librarian or something too. So I don't know. You from around here? I'm sure there's more than I wonder if Butt is a common last name. I don't know.
So what's new? What's new? And
I just told you we have a headstone that says "Come" on it.
Oh yeah, that is front page.
Big deal.
Yeah. Spinning paper.
I tell you what, though, you probably don't see this in LA as often. I know there's some crazy headstones out there that we saw, but there's one here that is the shape of the number 3, and it's clearly a reference to Dale Earnhardt, because I think he was number 3, the NASCAR driver. So I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
There's a headstone here that has a bust of Burt Reynolds on it.
But it's not Burt Reynolds?
It's Burt Reynolds. No, it is Burt Reynolds. It's his.
That'd be incredible. Oh, dude, I just looked up Dale Earnhardt's number. It is that 3. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. But it's even the same font. I mean, it's like the 3 that was on his car. Wow. Like,
right.
Would you have that in your funeral plans already so your family doesn't have to do it? Or did they go to the funeral director and was like, well, he really liked NASCAR.
A little
So
bit
instead
of
of a
both,
normal
I'm
headstone,
sure. Yeah,
maybe.
a little bit.
Yeah,
of
they're
both.
probably all into it. You're right. Anyways.
But there was a tweet that Trevor had that was, if I die, put killed by the CAA on my headstone.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
The CIA.
CAA.
Man, when they want out of a contract, they fucking go for it.
Yeah.
We just got another big dono. Dota 2 Enjoyer, Dota as in Dota 2, that game. Dota 2 Enjoyer donated $50. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
That's awesome.
Dota 2.
Thank you.
That's very generous of you. Thank
Playing
you.
Dota.
Hey, well, Zach's been sick, so he probably doesn't know much. But Sam, do we have any advances on that or any news on that stuff right now?
We're almost done.
Mars?
We're still almost done.
Still almost done. Okay, cool.
We're submitted
really almost
to.
done. Like it's
Really close,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
like it's been submitted to film festivals. It's pretty much there.
Yeah.
More than one festival?
Yeah.
Cool.
We submitted to Sundance.
Cool.
Yeah, I watched it last week. Maybe twice.
I really want to get that figured out so I can watch it.
Yeah.
That you and I were talking about. We need to figure that out.
Yeah, we should arrange it.
Yes, because I would like to see it. I want to make sure I'm still in it because I don't trust you guys.
The only way to show Timmy is we'll do like a FaceTime video and hold our phone up to the
Yeah.
You have to watch it on our phone. Yeah.
It reminds me when I first moved to New York and I bought one of my brothers for Christmas when I was, the first year I was in New York, I drew one of my brother's names for Christmas and I bought him knowing it'd be bad. I bought him a VHS off the street of the Harry Potter movie that was currently in theaters, and it was you couldn't ask for a better bad bootleg. Like people were getting up and walking and coughing, and I love that shit. Nowadays bootlegs are good. No one wants to see that.
Free to Play Squid asks an interesting, a very something that is I think an interesting question at this stage, where she just said, "Is it good?" Which, Zach, when you're at the end of Barbarian, and you have to like compartmentalize everything and like try and make like every small decision and be like, what would make this thing better? How do you tell if it's good?
You can't.
You can't, right? Yeah.
No.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
You're
too close to it. You can't see the forest in the trees.
You try and make every decision the right decision, but at the same time, you're like, I fucking hope this is good. But no, I think
it's weird though. The difference with Barbarian versus Mars, like with Barbarian, it's like as the director, I was able to be like, I have a movie in my head, and I want to try and get on the screen what's in my head. And I feel like for the most part, I did with Barbarian. Like that's pretty much the movie I had in my head. With Mars, since we're not directing like visually, it's like Savan and the animators, so it's like, it's been a very different process of like, okay, this isn't what I had in my mind. It's not worse, and just working with like different setup.
It's like
super
such a collaboration on so many levels. Yeah.
Darren, you look like the devil right now, says Surreal JC.
Oh, you have two pieces of hair that were like sticking up like this a little bit. Yeah. It looks good, man. Don't change it.
Don't leave it like that.
Don't touch your hair.
Finally,
I look like the
I really
devil.
like Mars. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You watched it?
I think it's a good spot because I take little. Sometimes I'll go like 2 or 3 months before I see like the next rendition, and every time I've watched it as it's come along, it's
gotten better and better.
Yeah, and I feel like next time I see it, it'll be even better, especially like with the sound and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
We did a screening a few months ago. God, that was a few months ago now. It was like 2 months ago now, maybe more, 3. It was very helpful to see like, some of these things we thought were playing really great aren't, and we just cut them out, and it flows so much faster. It's like,
that's where we lost Timmy. That's where.
I was gonna say that's why I'm not in anymore.
All of Timmy's lines, all of Timmy's lines.
We showed chat the whole like speaking when they're speaking in the spacesuit or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They do the same joke.
No.
It's a little bit different. It's like they're all in different colored suits and they have different colored buttons. And
that's different. That's different.
It is different,
I'd
but
say
it's
different
kind
enough.
of the same joke. And like everyone's like, we all can hear you, and I don't know. I was like,
I think that's a very different joke.
It's not like a big joke of the movie. It's just like a little soft joke.
I think, and I'll fight Chris Pratt if you guys want me to. Set it up.
I do.
I would love to see that.
He'd probably fucking kill me, right? Or maybe,
you could take him.
Yeah.
You think he'd underestimate me, right?
I know you could take him.
Yeah.
He'd see me. He's like, who's this hairy little
all
hobbit?
My money on Chris Pratt. Sorry.
He'd be like, who's Darren? I understand
Don't listen
man.
to Darren. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Darren's a way better gambler than the rest of us. He's good at poker. We know that. Like, I don't know. He might be. He's probably good with Darren.
Timmy, use your eyes. Look at Darren. He's a fucking idiot. You can fight Chris Pratt. Do it.
I don't know. I think you guys just want to see me get beat up by Star-Lord.
What?
No.
I think he would look at. You know what? My only weapon against him would be he would underestimate me, and then I would immediately try and rip off one of his ears because it doesn't take that much pressure to do it, right? I'd go for that first. I think that's what would be my first move. Just fucking try and rip off one of Chris Pratt's ears.
So basically, your first move is just definitely playing dirty. Like you're definitely gonna,
yeah, man, dude, fuck it.
That's your only chance.
What do you expect me to do? Fucking pugilism? No, I'm not gonna fucking. I watch a lot of martial arts movies. I can't do any of it. I'm gonna fucking rip his ear off and run. I'm gonna rip his ear off and be like, "Fuck you!" Throw it down. What?
I'm gonna have to dip early today, guys.
Okay. You all right, buddy?
I'm okay. I'm still not there yet. You know
crashing.
What I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
All right, dudes. Great to see you guys.
You too,
Great
buddy.
to see you, man.
Feel better, man.
See you soon.
Bye.
I'm gonna have to reorient us, guys. Sorry.
I'm actually gonna hop soon too because I have to go to Canterbury in the morning, very early.
I used to live in Canterbury, but not Canterbury, England. It was a neighborhood in Sandwich called Canterbury.
You mean Cape Cod?
Wait, Sandwich is big enough to have neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Canterbury
That's a
was
small
in
town.
Sandwich?
Yeah. Canterbury was a neighborhood in Sandwich. Yeah.
Oh wow. Sandwich was bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I
Been
thought
there.
Sandwich was a neighborhood.
No, Sandwich is a town. Cape Cod is a geographic.
It's a place. We talked about this at one time. Geographically designated place.
It's a mass. It's a land mass.
Land mass. That's a good one.
Yeah.
How many people? What's the population of Sandwich?
I don't know.
Sandwich.
I'd say 85,000 people.
Let's
I guess
see.
get up neighborhoods. We do have one or two neighborhoods here just because they're, we're additions, so that's what you call the additions. But there's not like neighborhoods, It's like I live by this building. I live
Population
by that building.
is 20,000.
Oh, so it's the size of this town, but it's also like part of a mega and more of a metropolitan kind of deal, right? I mean, you're out there. You're 20 minutes from a huge city, right? So, whereas I'm 20 minutes from.
We're an hour from
Is it an
a
hour?
huge
Okay.
city. Yeah. So it's kind of suburbs, I guess.
Lobaka says Watertown has Pedoton, which should have been a tip-off. Yeah. It's weird, man.
When you said that your friends were like, "Hey, so how's water or what's going on in Watertown?" And you said catching pedophiles. It for a second sounded like you were catching the pedophiles. Like it sounds like, how are you doing in Watertown? Oh, I'm just catching pedophiles.
They call me the Chris Hansen of the plains.
Yeah.
Wait, they're saying the screen's fucked up now? And Hedgesicle says, "Are you still fixing the screen, Timmy?" Okay, and I never was doing that, so don't you? No, we got another donation. Well, it's $3. Speedpunk donated $3. Says, "What's up, Tim and the gang?" Tim and the gang, I like that.
That would be our new name. I like that.
Was watching Adam Cole's stream. He was playing Sekiro. Made me miss seeing Zach play the Souls from Software games like Elden Ring. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe he'll get back to that someday. I don't know.
Yeah, one day, I bet, right?
I was just talking about with somebody earlier today about like Starfield and how I don't really care about new video games, but then I heard Starfield is like Fallout 4 and space, and I was like, okay, and so I'll probably get it. And I need it. I would have to play it on the PC because I don't have. It's only out for the new Xbox. I don't have that. And this is the PC that Whitest Kids and you guys, Whitest Kids and the fans, you guys bought me all these parts, and I've never really pushed it. So sometime soon I'll probably get Starfield and play it on here because I do have the specs. Because it's funny that we got me this gaming computer, and it's like I'm going to stream a game tonight. Oh, what are you going to stream? Doom 64.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you going to do next? Another Doom game that's also like 8 fucking pixels.
What's the best virtual reality goggles on the market? Which one's the best?
Chat would probably know best. I think there's there's a new kind of Quest coming out. Apple's about to.
Is that Meta? Or is that
Valve Index? People are saying Quest Pro. Some people are saying.
Someone says Vive. Is that one?
Is Quest the Meta one? I don't want to support anything.
Quest
they're all going to be made by evil rich people. That's the problem.
Quest is the Meta one. Yes.
Okay.
What's
the other one? The Valve one.
The Vive.
It says Vive, and then someone else says Valve Index. Is that the same thing? No, they're different. Okay.
Like, is that the whole AI sex thing? Is that up and running yet?
AI sex thing. In what sense?
Virtual reality.
I mean,
Nate says Trevor had the Vive.
Oh yeah, Trevor had the Vive. That's right. There is that pornography that you can look at while using
on your virtual reality.
Yeah, where you can look around. Yeah.
Dude, I gotta see that. That would be.
Wait, you can look around the room, so they're fucking on the bed, but you can look out the window.
Holy moly!
Guys, I don't know. I haven't ever used it, but I just know that
Sure you haven't. I have a.
Or is it like you're miniature and it's just one big vagina?
like you're a little guy standing on the bed while these
What in
people are
the
fucking.
world? How
Like
does that
like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids sex app.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's the
I have a
biggest
stick.
vagina I've ever seen.
This is great. Just walk inside of it and like check it out.
Whoa. Yeah.
Someone says, "Wait, there's porn to look at." Yeah.
I actually think there is. Oh yeah, there's stuff where where you can get a fleshlight that links to the video.
Oh no.
My God.
Well, isn't the saying though that porn always like the porn
So
industry
this is the last time we see.
has...
This is the last time we see Darren on stream. And people will be like, "What happened to Darren?" I don't know. Last time we saw him, I said that there were the fleshlight linked to the porn videos.
I called him, and he did pick up the phone. He was completely out of breath, and he said he couldn't join. I don't know.
Oh no, not today.
Hey, what? Sorry?
I'm busy for like another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna take a nap.
I was streaming something else. You were streaming somewhere else? No, never mind. It's fine. His private sex VR channel. Dejan Tundra says in quotes, "His house is so humid now for some reason." And Willis McGillis says he'll be on loads all the time though.
I will. I'll have tons of stories to tell.
Yeah,
Guys.
Oh man.
Darren, we'll try and get in good with like Adam and Eve, and then you'll be our product tester. You'll come
What's
in
that other
with
one? Pink cherries, pink berry.
reviews.
That's another sex toy.
Yeah,
one?
That will be the sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, hasn't every I feel like every podcast eventually gets sponsored by the sex toy. Is it Adam and Eve, right? Yeah, the sex toy people, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard tons of podcasts have them. Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, buddy.
All
I'll
right.
get up at like 5:30 in the
Just
morning.
fix the
geez.
windows, but
Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh man, a good joke just got told.
I did try to warn you.
Yeah,
to warn
you did. You did.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Free to play Squid says Mrs. Trumaner will finally get a break from that massive 5-inch hog. That's a good
call
ending
me.
note.
Pretty funny.
What Nate? Or what?
Oh
Darren,
yeah,
why you say
yeah.
Nate?
I know. This week got crazy. So yeah, next week will be better.
all right, cool.
Yeah, even maybe tomorrow. Like if you want to do it tomorrow, give me a call.
Okay, I have a window tomorrow, but yeah.
Text me when that window is.
All right, I will.
Okay. Bye, chat.
Bye, Darren.
Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Bye.
See you, buddy. Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Hi, Timmy. Doing good.
So
So Nate had an interesting question.
Nate, your brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Okay.
He wanted ideas for his Halloween costume.
Let's give a little history. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Last year he was the serial killer from Manhunter, or
Yes, it's a real guy.
Ed Kemper.
Yes, there you go.
Which basically his costume was this.
Yeah. So does he want to be another killer?
So he needs to top it.
Oh, someone says Lauren Bobert's date. That's a good one.
Hagrid. It's a little problematic, but it can
Why?
be funny.
Just because of J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it would be funny because it's out of touch because of that, but also it's like, I think it's kind of at least a few years too late to really like do Hagrid, you know?
Yeah, true.
Even if she didn't kind of like turn out being such a shithead, I feel like it's just kind of time wise, like Hagrid's kind of not a, it'd be funnier and along those same lines, Hodor.
I was just about to say Hagridor, where it's this combination Hodor Hagrid.
You're a wizard, Harry.
What are some?
Hey, someone says, "Hey Sam, tell me what you think about this." Lashota says Timmy's daughter can go as John Benet Ramsey. Do you ban them or time them out for that? Just time it out, time them out. I mean, that's like referencing my daughter getting murdered. That's fucking too much, right?
It's over the line. That's in poor
Yeah.
taste.
I'm gonna time them out.
Okay.
Fucking fuck you. But what? No, just continue.
it's a
I can
time
just
to-
continue.
But
Should I
yeah.
just we can continue and just forget that they said it. I just caught
But
it.
just
It's
let
like,
them
yo,
know. Hey,
that's a little much.
that's in poor taste. Just so
It is a poor taste. I mean, people think that because we had like a crazy show that everything's didn't mean it in that sense. What the fuck would? Yeah, okay. We shouldn't even engage them anymore. There's no other sense.
But I showed it. You saw how it came off.
Yeah, so fucking put it up your butt.
You don't have to put it up your butt. Just next time, think before you
Well,
post.
now they're saying I meant a bad costume, didn't think it through. No, you want a bad costume idea for you and your kid? I always thought that'd be funny if like when my daughter was little, if she was Cersei and I was Tyrion, I thought that'd be a good costume. Or I was Cersei and she was Tyrion, that'd be even funnier. Also, I wanted to make her MODOK one year. Like the big head guy from Marvel. Because she's a baby and babies look like that. So
I was
like
thinking-
put little arms up.
I was thinking I could do this one was one I came up with last year, but I could probably do it this year. And they have, I don't know if you've seen these, but they're like baby holders for your shoulder.
Where the baby's way up here.
Where the baby's way up here.
I had one of those. It was like a frame thing, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
they're kind of standing in the. Yeah, I had one of those. It's crazy.
Get one of those and make like wear black pants and then make like a black helmet and then you can be Master Blaster with your baby.
That's a good idea. My daughter's too big for that, but I just showed her Thunderdome the other day because she loves Fury Road, and I was like, I think Road Warrior and the first Mad Max are maybe a little too intense. There's like some rape and stuff in those, but I'm like, Thunderdome's just insane. So
Yeah.
that movie is way out there. But
The prototypical Lost Boys from Hooker in there.
yeah, totally, man. The Pocket Clips. That movie's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Someone says, Chatterbird says FDR and Eleanor Roosevelt. That's a funny daddy-daughter costume. What else we got? RSTM19 says, Dear Timmy and Sam, I'm 16 and so drunk right now. You guys are rad. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. And I hope it turns out all right. Your hangover and living with parents probably. So...
Hey, yeah, make sure you're making all the right decisions, man.
Yes. I think just watching us when you're drunk is probably a good way to like not do anything too stupid, right?
Yeah.
Butterfly
Hey.
Beulah says, Timmy, did you show her the the Tina Turner Thunderdome music video? I didn't know there was one. I could show her the Dre and Tupac. I mean, that was pretty much a Thunderdome video, right?
We can't. Emily and I last year we were going to a party and we were like we didn't have a costume. We were trying to think of one, and then at the last minute we were like, oh, we should have done this as a costume. And I thought I don't know how it would go, who would be what, but we were talking about how Limu, Emu, and Doug would have been a great costume.
From those Washington Mutual commercials?
Yeah. Limu, Emu, and Doug from the Washington Mutual commercials.
I love how just like...
Oh, no, Liberty Mutual. That's why.
Oh,
it's
Liberty Mutual. Okay, yeah.
Limu.
But that's so... it's like... It's just so like... cheesy and just bad. Somebody did it. Someone out there fucking did it. And it's just such a like bad idea for a costume. I fucking love it. Limu, Emu. Oh my God. That's a good one. Yeah, what's like the worst commercial person to be? That's got to be up there.
I mean, that's a good jingle though. That jingle's
Right.
quality.
What about I know people have done this, I'm sure. That fucking progressive lady, Flo.
Oh, Flo,
Right.
and there's the whole Flo extended universe.
Oh yeah, there's other guys now. and
Yeah,
other
there's
people.
other. Yeah, one of them's a very successful comedian.
Oh, there is?
Yeah,
I guess I haven't seen a lot of those commercials. Who is it?
I'm blank. It's I'm getting old. My brain's going.
I know. Me
what's
too,
her
man.
name?
I used to
She does a
remember.
lot of
You remember how I
climbing.
used to remember all these whitest kids dates, and Zach would be like, "Yeah, I can't believe you remember that stuff. I don't remember any of that shit anymore." You know what I mean? I used to remember like the first day we did a piano show, like exactly, and stuff like that, and I just don't. You know.
She did a like a Netflix special called like Brian or something like that. Or
Okay. People are asking you about Milena Vaintrub. Is she? She wasn't in that. She's AT&T.
she's
But someone
AT&T.
guy in a hat says, "Sam, do you know Milena Vaintrub? Can you give her my number?"
No, she's like
Well,
one person removed.
right, because our
I know a lot
friend,
of people who know her. Yeah.
right, because our friend was in that Marvel show with her that didn't
Yeah.
get picked up,
Yeah.
which is too bad because I love that. That it seemed like a great idea, and I think Milena Vaintrub was a great Squirrel Girl choice. But what are you gonna do? Squirrel Girl's a great character, so it should be funny. So, anyways, yeah. Hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? Trailer Boys? Are you on Trailer Boys tomorrow? Well, I think we're kind of a little
I have
off the
missed.
track.
Yeah, like a month of Trailer Boys, but tomorrow's my return. I
Ooh.
think we have something lined up. Erotic thrillers.
Yes. Yes.
it?
Nate and I had that idea on one you weren't on, and we haven't done one since then. So, yeah.
Yeah, T-Boys is back.
Don't look up
Oh,
T-Boys
we're
on
back.
Reddit, though. It's Trailer
Yeah.
Boys. I mean, you can look up T-Boys on Reddit, but that's not what you're going to find. I have no problem with T-Boys. I'm just saying, if you go there, you're not going to find Trailer
Thrillers?
Boys.
Okay, sure.
Are there many of those? Oh, someone says, Super Jingo says, speaking of, Nate should be the Geico caveman.
Oh, Nick Kroll.
Yeah, dude, Nick did that. But it's also just like it's another one's just kind of out of like way past the time where you should do one.
What's the name of the hot girl from the SNL sketch? She seems smart. What's that?
I'm pretty sure SNL's been on a long time. They've had more than one hot person on there.
No, I think Nick Kroll was the Geico caveman in the Geico caveman
The TV show,
I don't
which did
thi-
not last long. I don't know why.
He wasn't. Was he the one of the commercials?
He was not the original guy. That was someone good. And that guy was on the show, but Nick Kroll was on the show too, I think is what happened. There was like more than one. Shit. Okay. Just hold on, I gotta do some checking on.
Oh, they were talking about the SNL sketch that we did.
I'm still Facebook friends with that girl, and I see her post sometimes. What the heck is her name?
It was no, I think there was that one girl in it that from the SNL part that looked like you. Yeah.
Oh, Sandy Sandbergs?
Yeah. Did anyone? I didn't like RDJ in Oppenheimer. My mic turned off?
No, some people were saying it was a little quiet.
Okay, I'll turn it up.
Now you're good. That sounds good to me.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
There we go.
Turning it up.
Someone posted that in Reddit today because they posted it on the Whitest Kids Reddit because it got that got shared in some sort of SNL fan subreddit, and most people commenting like knew what it was, or so they were quoting Whitest Kids and stuff. But there's some people like, oh my god, because it was just the SNL part. It wasn't the whole sketch,
Ah. So what's new this week, Timmy? What's your week been like this week?
Oh, dude, I actually have had a lot going on. So it's homecoming here for the football team and everything. My daughter's in 7th grade now. So when you're in 7th grade, you want to go do the homecoming stuff. And so it's this weird age where it's like she's ready to go out and do stuff with her friends, but fucking can't drive. So it's like, okay, we'll figure it out. Like I'm at work and stuff, and I got to drive you to places. And I also forgot that several months ago, a friend of mine asked me, he's older, he's like 60 something. He's a friend of my uncle's and he's like a cool dude. He and his wife asked me to join their trivia team because they had an opening, and he's like, you're young, you know a lot about movies. We don't know any of that shit. So I'm like, okay. And then I forgot about this months ago. And then
you're
this
young, dumb, and full of cum.
basically is.
Like,
I think it's essentially what he meant.
Why is that the qualities you're looking for in someone in your
Why
trivia
did you say
team?
that? But so I forgot about it till this Thursday when he's like, "Oh, trivia's tonight. You coming?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." And there wasn't a lot of movie questions. However, but I still became I was still of value because of some of the work I've done since then here at home. I know a lot of like just soft rock songs or radio top 40 kind of shit.
Okay.
And they did and so we were behind. We were like in third or fourth place, and then the last round was Name That Tune. And it was you get 2 points. It's double points. You get 2 points if you get the artist, and you get 2 points if you get the song title. And I got 7 of the 9 of them just like that. And the other 2 were Oasis Wonderwall and then Wheatus Teenage Dirtbag that one of my friends knew on the team. So that was good. But the reason I bring it up here, and everyone will be happy to know, that Smooth, Santana, and Rob Thomas was one. And I wrote out the whole thing. My team was like, "Do you think you need to write out the whole title?" I'm like, "We want to get it exactly right." So I wrote Santana featuring Rob Thomas. Smooth. Hey, are you home? All right, cool. I'll be done in a little bit. And then we'll go out to the station.
I wish
you're not home. Okay.
Yeah, I wish she said, "Hey, are you home?" And she said no, and then she disappeared.
What the? Yeah, like no, this is a dream. Oh man. But anyways, but yeah. So then but we got it perfect, and so all those points is 9 songs, so we got 36 points. So we got way ahead and won, and so now it's like going into when I. Well, so it's at this like bar restaurant, so you get $50 certificate. So when we meet up next week, we can just buy our drinks or burgers or whatever with that. And also since we got a perfect round, they gave me a free beer coupon if you get a perfect round. But so now it's like shit, man. Now the heat's on me, right? Now I'm gonna go in next week. They're like, "All right, what are you gonna fucking get perfect this week?" So I'm a little worried. He can't start too strong, right?
Yeah. Abstract Pit says, "Who has a Deep Boys question for
Timmy and Sam Deep Boys question?" Yeah, think of one. And here, wait, real quick. I brought up the whole trivia expectations thing, and here's a funny story from when my daughter was like 2, 3. We were at a store that had a claw machine. And I got it. I did the claw machine. I won her like a little purple monkey toy. And then like a few months later, I got we were at a claw machine somewhere else, and I got it. I got some other little toy. And then another time, within this is in a pretty close together dates where she could remember stuff. So then the third time she saw me do a claw machine, I didn't get one. And she goes, "Oh no, the machine's broken." Because I'd always won. She's like, "The machine's broken," and I was like, "Yeah, it's broken."
Do you know what the sad truth is about those claw machines?
What?
Is that they are made to they like have to win occasionally, or else it's like a scam legally, and so they have to be set. They're all set to a randomizer that like, out of every 20 times you use it, there's like a specific number of times that it will apply enough pressure to actually pick up whatever stuffed animal or whatever.
Wow, that's Free to Play Squid said there's a pressure gauge that wins a set number of times. Wow, interesting. So you're saying if I put a 20 in there, I'll definitely get a $2 stuffed toy. Sick.
Yeah.
Andrew Demery says, "Deep Boys, has there ever been a time when you had to find out the hard way that you weren't good at something you wanted to be good at?"
Well, I was with a girl getting intimate.
I was going to say, like, that's got to be what that's about, right? But
I mean, here's the thing is you... I am someone who I feel like I'm like the phrase like jack of all trades, master of none. Like I think about that phrase a lot, and I like exploring different things in that way. I like, practicing different, like learning different musical instruments, learning different computer programs, different skills like that, playing different sports and stuff, and doing all that stuff. But there's a part of me that at some point had to accept that I am not naturally good at like anything. And I feel like that's true. Is that like I feel like?
But you're so fucking funny, though.
I mean, yeah, but
that's a thing.
It's taken years and years of practice. I had to be.
No, you've been funny since I met you, man. Why do you think Trevor and you connected? Because you guys are both funny.
Even before that, though, I I remember there was a point where I was like making jokes where like when I was younger, there was a point where I was like making jokes, and a friend of mine was like dogging on me for making jokes. Was like, his thing was when I would say something that like wasn't funny, he would go, "Not funny." And I made the choice. I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna like make jokes till I figure it out. And that's the thing, is that
But that's what everybody does.
With almost anything,
yes,
you have to be willing to be bad at something. You have to be willing to fail at something to get good. Like and granted, there are people who like have like natural abilities that like make them like better basketball players, but the people who are great it's not the fact that they were like a certain level of good at something when they started. It's that they were working on it to a degree till they got to a level that they felt that they were that good at. So
no, I agree, man. And I've always considered myself something like that too, where I feel like I know a little about a lot of things, but I don't know a lot about like anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm pretty good at falling on a skateboard. That's true.
Yeah, he did that without even any practice. Well, and here's another example. I mean, both Sam and I, we've gone through the process of making a kid a bunch of times, and it took a long time until the time that it made a kid, right?
Yeah, totally. And I'll tell you
with different people.
I'll tell you this
What's
kid, this isn't our first kid. This is just the first one we're willing to be like, all right, this one we feel good about. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's more evil twins out there.
Yeah, let's just say the fire department in our town has been busy trying to get rid of all these kids we've been dropping off. And we're like, oh, we don't like this one. Don't like
funny.
that one.
Girl Made of Cheese has a good point. She says, the consequence of pop culture at large, everything we see on a screen is the absolute best or worst version of that thing. Yeah, I think the extremism has run amok in our society. I mean, it happens in politics, it happens in everything. Yeah, and with pop culture, it's like if you see like a movie that's only okay, you're like, that's the worst thing ever. It's like, probably not.
Yeah.
And for me, I have a hard time giving anything less than like 2 stars on Letterboxd because I feel like I find value in just about anything, or find something of value. But here's another interesting idea based off of that. So because I'm a Blu-ray collector, and a lot of those are weird. A lot of times these Blu-ray labels will find some weird little obscure thing and put out a very nice edition of it. And there's this dude who was from New York, but he went to film school in Ohio in the 80s. And his name is his last name is Williams. I forget his first name, but he's this black dude. He was like a teenager, right around the time when Kung Fu and stuff was like a big deal, like in New York. So he went to film school in Ohio, and he made a movie called Treasure of the Ninja. And it's one of those things where no one, it disappeared, and then eventually somebody found it, and they found the guy. They got him to do commentary on it, and and I was watching part of it. My daughter was like, "This is like kind of crazy bad." I'm like, and I like, you can say that, but I said, it's hard for me to call this good or bad. It was because it's clearly made like with no money, no actors in it, and like when they're in the airport, and the story is very ambitious, where it's like they travel to a different country, to tropical island, to find a treasure. So they're in the airport, which is clearly the lobby of their college, and then later they're in the airport in the country they just landed in, also the lobby of their college. Like there's no
Yeah.
difference. And I was like, the thing when you watch a movie like that, it's not really good or bad. It's like they did this and that rules. And it's also like so weird and awkward, that it's beautiful. William Lee, thank you, Labaka. William Lee, of
Yeah,
course.
and to
Labaka
be like this is horrible is not taking into account how hard it is to like get people to show up for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Especially when you're not paying them and they're just your friends. They're not actors, well, the other thing is, Sam, that you'll appreciate, this film was shot on Super 8. And so all the audio is like totally unsynced, obviously, and crazy. And so but it's interesting. And I was like, how I judge a movie is that it's like, does it seem like, can you tell what the filmmakers were trying to do? And does it seem like they did it?
Yeah.
And that for me oftentimes is going to be a big thing. We just rewatched recently too was Speed Racer. I love that movie. I don't care. I think it's great. You know what I mean?
I was my takeaway from that, and like it is like crazy. It is like crazy and fun and flashy, and there's but like when I first saw it, even when I was like, oh, it's not the best, I was like, well, they are really good at the he's starting to believe moment, and that movie has that, like that same movie, that same like he is the one kind of moment happens in Speed Racer, and it's great.
Yeah, is that it's before the last race, right? Is it when I forget when,
or his like car, it's something about like how he like figures out to like shift
yes,
into, like, a different gear.
His car dies in the
yeah.
race, and he talks to it basically. It figures out what it needs without having to do anything. Yeah, totally. Oh, Dark Bastard says, Timmy, it's William Lee. I've had dinner with William Lee. He's such a cool guy. That's the filmmaker. Cool. That's the other thing, is this guy's still making movies. And they're just all low budget. They're all shot in Ohio or New York, and they're all martial arts stuff. And now because Treasure of the Ninja got like kind of some notoriety, he's making Treasure of the Ninja 2. And the other recent movie he's working on, I looked up, is Bulletproof Jesus. And I think it's like he's playing Jesus, and it's an action movie.
Oh, cool.
I would be interested in that. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about, it's hard to, especially for someone like us, and I feel like for someone like me, and I feel like Sam's probably similar, where it's like, it's for me, it's a confidence thing where it's like it's hard for me to confidently say, yes, I'm good at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just even something I've been doing forever. It's like, I mean, you probably remember there are times in Whitest Kids where I would talk to you, be like, are you guys gonna like kick me out? I feel like I suck at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's just because I never really was able to feel good about stuff. It's tough, it's weird.
But also, I think that's like a quality that people who are good at something have, of like never feeling like they're finished, never feeling like they don't have room to grow. It's weird. There's this DJ Shadow song that has this sample, and I've never like looked up what the sample is. It's like one of the first songs on his album Introducing, and it's a drummer talking in an interview, and he said something like something where he's like I'm always learning, I'm a teacher, but I'm a student. And it's like I've always kind of taken that as like a good kind of work ethic with everything. It's to like always be that student, and
that's a good idea.
To always be pushing, and
Neil Peart, drummer for Rush. At one point, Rush was already at the top of the world, and Peart's considered one of the greatest drummers who ever lived. And at one point in the 90s, he was like, I need to be better. And he's like scrapped his whole style of drumming and went to this jazz dude who had completely changed the way that he held his drumsticks and everything. And that's great. You know what I mean? Like that's, you're always trying to like do a new thing. But yeah, I was just talking with someone earlier today about that idea, what you just said, where it's like, yeah, people like, I told them, they were like, I feel like I'm never going to be good at this. And I was like, well, I don't think that matters. I think like, when I do stand up or when we do whatever, anything that I've done for a long time, afterwards, I'm always like, that could have been better. You know what I mean? Like, and that's important. I feel like if you try something and you're like, that was the best, I'm the best, like you probably aren't engaging with it correctly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, people who are skilled at something do share a common trait: perseverance.
That's good. And people were saying what I was talking about earlier was imposter syndrome. Yeah, that's totally what that is. Um, thinking you're not really. I have that about my like mental illnesses and stuff too. Like, do I really have ADHD? Well, fucking yeah, you do. Do I really have anxiety? Yes, obviously,
Yeah.
And Lobaka said the very funny comment, sometimes I worry my imposter syndrome isn't real. It's a good one. Yeah.
Put it on a shirt.
Lydia Pajuni says, this may be the most objectively important thing for me y'all have said. Really? That? And none of the, like, common porn stuff? Fine. Well, hey, everybody's different.
I mean, like, it's funny. Chris O was just in LA.
Yes.
He's a
God, I
friend of
miss him.
mine, a painter. Painted that album cover of that Beirut album. And
Oh, yeah.
so he's been killing it lately, and he's had art around at like a lot of different shows. And what he does as his kind of art of choice is or the thing he's been doing lately is he's been reproducing like Renaissance paintings.
Yeah.
I forget exactly, like I think they're like specifically
It's a
an
specific
area
period or something, right?
of Renaissance, but he's been reproducing them on like physical objects and not only physical objects, but like stuff that is not like close to flat, like stuff with lots of cracks.
Yeah,
and
like shells
textured
and like
yeah.
pieces of like metal mesh stuff and like a lot of weird stuff.
And it's
Playing
funny
cards, that
'cause,
was a
like,
good one.
talking to him, he's like, like, oh, I view myself as like a counterfeiter in a way, and where it's just but like it's still at the same time he's like this super talented artist with this very interesting, like conceptually interested pieces, and this very like his artistic talents are like I've often said that he's like more talented at this art than anyone I know in any field of art.
Yeah, man, he's very good.
But
and he's been good for a long, like his art always impressed me,
yeah.
Even when he was still in school.
But it's funny to hear him say like, oh, I just view myself as a counterfeiter.
Yeah, and it's too bad when people do that and they kind of knock themselves down. But when people from Whitest Kids say our show was a dick and fart show or a poop show, I mean, we're right on with that. We're not discrediting ourselves,
Yeah.
Right? Did you see this? Granel944, first time chat, says, I got a girl's number today. I don't know what to do next. Need some bro advice. People are saying text her and call her. Shouldn't you? Is it still like good to wait a day or two?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, like to not is there still a whole kind of game? Like, first of all, I should not be giving dating advice ever at all. But is it still a thing to like kind of give it a second?
give it a second.
Mm-hmm.
Try and have what I would say. This is something I heard once that I was like, oh, that's really good. Is like, here's the thing: is you get a girl's number and you're like, oh, I should text her right away to get her to answer, because then and it's like, chill out. Like, it's not that you have to wait a certain amount of time, but also don't be like, hey, all I want to do is drop everything in my life so that I can sleep with you.
Right. Because that's lame. You know what it is? I think, and here's the thing. Go ahead. Sorry, Sam. I didn't know you weren't done.
But one thing that I heard as like really good advice is, invite, when you do contact her for a reason, and ask her to do something specific.
Yeah, it's a free to play. Squid just said that. Totally.
Like, be like, hey, I was going to go see this movie. Do you want to come with me? I was going to go, like, hey, would you be interested in getting a meal? There's this really good restaurant around the corner from me. And, I think when I was when I was younger, I was like, oh, well, what if she's doing something that night? Well, if she's doing something that night and
she's
she
fucking doing
wants
something.
to see you, she'll like make it a point of being like, hey, I'm doing something, but like we should totally do this some other time. But if she's trying to give you the love, she'll be, oh, I'm doing something that night. And like kind of, you know, like you'll see that like, oh, it's a little, I'm having to force it to try and have this go somewhere else. And that's fine. That's fine. But yeah.
Like Hedgesicle says, the amount of flaky, hey, how's your day going text from a dude I just met are annoying. I'd much rather get a direct invite. Totally. You know? Yeah. I think, my last relationship, which started out really great, and it was long distance, so it's a little different, but it started out very well.
Fart?
No.
But
now you told us
really
you
hard.
did. But so when that started, she actually thought she's like, I started getting offended that you didn't respond for a couple days, you know? So you never know. And I think what the real point is just let it go, come naturally. You know, like Sam said, if you're going to do something, text them. Or if you're in a situation like I was where you can't go do stuff with them right away, if you want to check in with them or say something, you just like, don't like, I got to do it so that she talks back to me. That's not what you want to do. But if you're sitting around and think like, hey, I wonder how they're doing, or or you think, hey, I should tell them this because that's cool, you know, whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Macerated Guacamole says, send to her, did you just hear me fart? Totally. You know what? I think, honestly, in some cases, that would probably be great. I think it'd be funny, you know?
Here's the thing. You got to fart. You got to have a really hard fart.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
Oh, there is this one thing that I heard you can do is where, this is assuming the person's a guy. I guess it could work for a girl. But so if you haven't ever texted her, you go in the bathroom and you take a picture of your amazing looking hog.
Right. It's got to be fully erect.
Fully erect. And girls can't resist that.
And you know what?
That's what they all want.
And don't even wait till a girl gives you your phone number. Just go on Facebook or Twitter and just find a girl that you think looks nice in their picture and just start sending them. Or send it to a bunch at once.
Yeah. Guys.
Oh, man.
What are we doing here? Obviously, that's what we're supposed to do.
Do you ever have like your lady friends ever like show you some of the crazy stupid shit that gets sent by random people on the internet? It is fascinating. Like, you know, like my friend, well, a lot of it's depressing, but it is like, it's fascinating. Like, how do people get there? And my favorite one ever is my good friend Brandy. She showed me this once a couple years ago, and I will never forget it. It's so funny. This guy on Facebook, I think, texts her, you know, like, hi, how are you doing? She's like, hi, or whatever. I think she wrote back, but she was just kind of like waiting to see what was going to happen. And the guy just says, the next thing he says back is like, can I send you fully nude pictures of myself? And he said it like that, and it's so weird.
Hey.
And she goes, right, take your shot. So she goes, no, thank you. And he goes, okay.
Hey, dude's learning his lesson about consent, you know?
I guess. Yeah, he probably had learned it already. Maybe he just got out of prison. But, but I just love that it's like, he respected it. And he's like, okay. And what's really funny about that is like, okay, does that work ever? Like, does that, like, the dudes that are doing that thing, does it ever stick? Does it ever stick? It can't, right? What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you and I are not dudes like that. Like we said, we're not confident enough to just send our schlong to people.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people, it's like, I got into comedy because I can't fight and I'm not good at talking to girls. So, you know, that's what we do.
Here's a question. Do you think that does anyone know or has ever received or ever sent, has a woman ever sent unsolicited nudes? And we're not saying to like a boyfriend or something.
I got one once from someone who I was like friends with, and I was like, whoa, what? And they were a little, they're a little loosey-goosey, a little weird. Some people are saying, yes, here we go.
Okay. All right. Bots. People are like bots.
Yeah.
So maybe
Well, I
those
don't mean
people are
like
just
when it's
looking
like
for
some.
those people.
Yeah. Bots finding. Like, what about a dating site just for bots?
Yeah.
Where bots can meet bots. Nate says, bro, girls send unsolicited nudes all the time.
Okay. Bots fuck.
Should we believe him? I'm a father. You're in a relationship. Maybe we wouldn't know. Nate's out there. He's, living
Lydia
life.
Petunia says, as a real girl answering, no.
I think we should definitely take her, take that at face value. Yeah, for sure. Labaka says to Nate, I feel like you solicit heavily.
Yeah.
Yo, hey, and Headsickle says, so are men just cool with it, and that's why we never hear about it? I don't know. I mean, we're stupid. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're stupid.
Dejan Tani says, did they ask for gift cards after, did they?
Yeah, why?
Lydia says in all caps, Nate, you literally said on stream that you accept all boob pics in your DMs. Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. We got, what do we got tonight? We got,
I actually have to get going here in a second.
girlfriend reviews, cheesy blue nips.
Oh, you're looking at that. Cool.
Nephew
Hey,
Quinn, Adam. you guys want to watch Adam Conover play Armored Core?
Ooh, that sounds good. We got one more dono I didn't get to. Turtle the Exalted donated $5. Says, can you tell Mr. Luke that Turtle is watching him? Also, congrats on his new job. What does that mean?
Mr. Luke.
Can you tell Mr. Luke that Turtle is watching him? Congrats on his new job. What does that mean?
I think don't click on it. It's a scam.
Well, they gave us $5.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's a scam. I just know it's a scam.
Headsickle says that for the right stream. It might not be. I don't know.
Hey, we did it, guys.
We did it. You're gonna rate somebody. You're rating Adam.
Yeah, I'm rating Adam Conover.
He helped me write a tag to a joke many years ago.
He's right now.
I always appreciated it.
Ruining Armored Core 6.
All right, bye guys.
Ruining some bosses in Armored Core.
There
AC
you go.
plays AC. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I don't know if I think I'm doing Trailer Boys tomorrow. I don't know. I'll probably see you tomorrow.
I'm doing it. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right,
see
cool.
you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Have a good summer.
6 Pacific, right?
Huh? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.
Do, do.